Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast for the recap of the Giro d'Italia 2026 parcours reveal. So we'll preview the 2026 route. We'll go through the stage design, what happened this year, who likely will be the competitors, and of course, stage by stage analysis of who's going to win each stage, because we can tell you up front, Thibaut Naesen has already said he's winning stage 2. So we can tell you that isn't happening. For example, when we get into the stage-by-stage analyses, although maybe it is, depends who's going. We've been everywhere. Some of you noticed, some astute listeners noticed that I wore the same t-shirt in a few of the previews, and we did batch record a few of them, so we've had a couple of weeks off. So,
Sure.
Are you rusty? Do you reckon you're rusty?
I'm not rusty. I thought we recorded every day, and you just had the same shirt on every day, my friend.
Yeah, how much sleep are you working off?
What, sorry?
How much sleep are you working off today?
5 hours, roughly.
Oh, that 5's not too bad.
But I can't blame you. I can't blame you for being in Australia and putting a podcast on 8 in the morning UK time. I went to bed at 3 a.m. So yeah, I can only blame myself. And for some reason I decided to ride an indoor cycling race at midnight. But hey, I set the new FTP, so
Benji's addicted to, we need a stage intervention. Benji's addicted to Swift races. I went and saw Knives Out 3 today. Benji says no spoilers. I thought it was pretty good. No, pretty good. Always impressive how small the cast is. And I think that's how they keep the budget tight. What also shocks me is, I know this is not a new thing, but it's a Netflix production released into cinemas, and then in a week it comes out on Netflix. The economics of that fascinate me. But
so do you feel like you got robbed knowing that it comes out in a week on Netflix?
No. I went on Tuesday Super Saver. It was $13. So no free ads, but Coolangatta Cinebar free ad. $13 on a Tuesday. For gold class, full reclining seats. They deliver food to you in the cinema. You can order from your seat the food, and it's only 20 people in the cinema, and that's in your money, Benji, £7, £6, yeah, £7.
In your money, you're speaking as if we still trade with the twigs or something. We're not a third world country here, my friend.
All right, Lynn Alden, I don't need some analysis of how the bartering began with human civilization.
Talking about bartering, the 2025 Giro d'Italia was bartered on stage 20.
So much bartering this Giro. Can we get an extra rest day, please? Can we start in Eastern Europe, or is it Central Europe, please, sir, for a 5th year running? There's a lot of bartering. Jonas Vingegaard, can you please come? Remco Evenepoel, he's a TT for you. So speaking of bartering, we've got stages it's got to go through Milan. It's got to go through Tuscany. It's the last Giro of, is this the last parcours designed by Vegni and he's not running the race? Or is Vegni, he's out and it's Bellini?
I don't know. I feel like Bellini had more input this year, is what I heard personally. I also heard some quotes from Zomenian. Is that not the dude that did the parcours ages ago? That was known for the insane Giro parcours? Looking at the parcours, doesn't shout Zomenian to me in terms of giant 250. Well, there's one 250 kilometer mountain stage, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, it won't happen. Adam Hansen's got his umbrella ready. They got Zomenian would not be permitted in modern cycling. It's they just wouldn't even allow him. Just not allowed. He was doing 250k back-to-back stages. Sorry, it's so to give you some what we actually meant. Paolo Bellino is the CEO of RCS Sport. Vegni has retired, but I couldn't recall if this was his last hurrah, was still designing this parcours, and then he won't be in the race next year because he's still giving quotes and whatnot.
I think it's a transition phase of Vegni mostly right now, and then Bellini, whatever his name. Bellini is a drink, right? Like an alcoholic drink?
No, Paolo Bellino is the CEO. He's already was the commercial CEO.
Close enough. I would start drinking if I was a CEO of RCS. But before we get into 2026, I think we need to recap 2025 very quickly because I feel like we had a pretty good Giro last year. It's definitely the best Grand Tour of the three, in my opinion. You're doing the face. Why are you disappointed about the 2025 Giro?
Oh no, you're right. It was good. It was. I was just recalling. I was like, because it wasn't like Monte Lusari where we had 19 stages of the worst viewing imaginable, followed by one good TT. I'm now recalling. Okay, Strada Bianca stage was good. The sprints were good. The with Pedersen, Albanian. It was interesting. The Grande Partenza week 2 was. I can't recall what happened, to be honest with you. And then the third week was really, really good, I thought. So you're right. It was a good Giro. And it had the best stage of the year in cycling.
Yep, that's for sure. And it started off with Roglic being the pre-race favorite, maybe, together with Ayuso as the challenger. Those two were the incoming favorites. But let's just say that quickly changed throughout the race because during week 1, we could already see that Roglic did not have the snap
on top of mountain finishes. And Ayuso won that easier mount stage in week 1, but then in the second week on the Strade Bianche stage, well, they both crashed in the second week as well, both those riders. So didn't end up very well for them because they ended up dropping out of GC and out of the race, one of them. Then we had week 3 and 2-ish, where Del Toro took control of GC, took pink, with Carapaz and Yates being the challengers, Carapaz being the close challenger.
And the Finestre stage is what you're pointing at, Patrick. On Finestre, EF went all in for Carapaz, could not drop Del Toro. UAE and Del Toro mentally imploded, and Yates was the third dog that rode away with the bone thanks to a satellite rider move by Wout van Aert. But that was a very hectic stage 20. I was thinking back to it while I was writing these notes 6 hours ago at 2 a.m., which that in itself was a mistake. But that was a stage in which Finestre, every second I was entertained, you know?
It was from break formation. Who's going to get in? Okay, UAE, they're not going to want EF in. EF weren't in, okay. Van Aert suddenly slips into a group of 30. UAE start pulling. They're going to keep it tight. They don't. They actually pull. They're going to let it go to 20 minutes. What are they doing? That's strange. No, stranger. EF start pulling full gas with their team on the flat. Before Finestre, like then they crash on the downhill, and then the break does get another 2 minutes, which it was all was happening in that stage. It was an incredible stage, and so I really like the race. Was I think we did announce it as the best Grand Tour of the year. But this year's parcours is similar in that it starts in Eastern Europe, and. But it is very different, in my opinion. It is very, very different to the 2025 route. And I will get into it stage by stage, but that we start in Bulgaria. We go from Neseba to Veliko Tarnovo. We then...
As if the majority of the people listening to this podcast have a clue where those cities are.
Well, I mean... Sorry, Nesebar to Burgas, I don't know that. Then Burgas to Veliko Tarnovo. I do know then, Plovdiv to Sofia. Sofia is obviously a big city.
Plovdiv has a football team.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. What's in Plovdiv?
I don't know. A football team?
It has an archaeological museum, a Roman-era ancient theatre. That's pretty cool. The contentious thing about this Giro is that apparently you're not allowed to have a third rest day in consecutive years in a Grand Tour. So normally if the rest day is on after stage 9 and after stage 15. If you have a non-contiguous Grand Tour start in a different country, so you're starting in Bulgaria, for example, or Romania, for example, you normally want a rest day to get over after stage 3 to where stage 4 starts on mainland Italy. And technically, I don't think the Giro was supposed to be allowed that, according to the rules. Anyway, they have it, probably because they'd sold it to Bulgaria, and they were then... it's a game of... You could play a game of chicken. You say, okay, we're going to do a nighttime trial on stage 4, and everyone can get the ferry from Bulgaria after driving to where was the place you went on the coast in Romania? Where's the place
They
you went on
tried
the
the
coast
nighttime
in
trial.
Albania? Yeah, nighttime trial in the south of Italy in Catania. So
That is
obviously the riders would revolt.
I think so as well.
Yeah, we have another rest day. Then we start from the south. We start in Catanzaro. We head progressively north. And then we go through the Apennine. So the Apennines, yes, we have the Blockhouse. Not much in Tuscany, actually, from what I can see. Then they head to, they skip a lot of, I think, just north of Rome. Then, I don't know my Italian geography that well. Then a few random stages in week 2 that, like, no one will remember, like this year. Then we head to the Swiss border, even have a stage finishing in Switzerland, in Kari, and then across to the Dolomites, where we have the week 3. So, pretty classic, like classic-ish route, whatever that means anymore. A lot of mountaintop finishes. I forgot to say a 40k absolutely flat TT. So, who's that a nod to?
To Remco Evenepoel, but is it going to matter? That's also a question, because on one end, if I think about competitors, and Jonas Vingegaard is the one that shouts at me, will most likely be at the Giro d'Italia. But then when it comes to Quick-Step, I'm thinking, okay, Remco Evenepoel, well, it's not Quick-Step anymore. It's Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe now. Remco Evenepoel, Classics. Let's say he does MSR, Hill Classics, whatever, even if he does RVV or something, to then also do the Giro and the Tour de France. That is a very gambly schedule, is how I feel. I would expect it to be Classics and Tour de France instead of Classics, Giro, Tour de France.
Yeah, I don't expect him to do the Giro because, he's going to prepare fully for the Ardennes, and then the Tour is going to be the big... I just don't see it, to be honest, because,
He definitely rides the Tour.
He definitely... Okay, Benji Naesen confirmed. He's calling it. He's definitely riding the Tour, and then I would say he's definitely riding the Ardennes in good shape. Then it's, apart from Pogacar, who just did Liège, I think, before his Giro Tour double in 24. It's tricky. And then he's going to want to win Worlds, TT, so I don't see it, actually. So I think we're going to see
I agree.
Almeida.
Okay.
Who else are we going to see?
I like that. I like seeing Almeida go
Why
for...
shouldn't Almeida get the Giro leadership?
Yeah, unless Del Toro wants to go again? Or do you expect
Almeida's
him
a
to
better
show up at the
GC
Tour de
rider than
France?
Del Toro.
I agree with you. I agree
I
that
think Del
Almeida's
Toro
a better
will do the
GC
Tour.
rider right now. You're saying Del Toro at Pogacar Tour?
Yeah. But before we get into the stage-by-stage previews of the race, a word from our show partner, Join Cycling. As I said, Benji has maybe near crippling addiction to indoor training, but the Join Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast indoor series on Zwift has proven one thing: consistency is king. And every Thursday, including this Thursday at 8 p.m. European time, that's 7 p.m. I believe Benji time, UK time, Join gives you a structured workout or a race that slots right into your plan if you're doing the indoor plan. If you're not doing it, you can just join us anyway. You'll see the event. You can join the club that Join has on Zwift, and then you'll be easily able to find any event that they have, not just the event with us. So whether it's VO2 efforts or threshold intervals, each ride builds you towards your bigger goals, and it's the easiest way to stay accountable this winter. You don't have to fly across and hide in Australia all winter to get in shape. You can just use Joint Cycling and the indoor trainer this winter instead. So Benji will be there.
Could have saved a lot of money, my friend. Could have just stayed here and rode on Joint Cycling instead, bro.
Exactly. I didn't think of that. But I saw a wallaby yesterday, so that's nice enough.
What's
Seen
a
few
wallaby?
wallabies. Like a small kangaroo.
Is that also not
It's
like
like
a
me.
theme park? Wallaby Park? Am I inventing this?
It probably is a wallaby park.
Wallaby
Yeah.
Belgium. Ha.
What? Yeah,
It's a
Belgium's
theme
probably
park.
got some prison with Australian animals in it. It's the sort of weird shit you do there.
We tried to get you in one a few years ago, but you ran away.
I think they're called zoos. Okay, Stage 1 from Nesebar to Burgas 156. I don't know what the 156 is. Oh, that's the length
That's
of
the
the
amount of
stage.
kilometers, bro.
I was like, that is the most Soviet core. Burgas 156. It's like, what?
I
That's the
typed
length
it in
of
that title, so it would be easier to know the kilometers of the stage.
I'm happy to read it off the profile. I'm not a child.
Well, the problem is, if I want to read it off the profile, I need to tilt my head 90 degrees because the profile is written in 90 degrees sideways.
Skill issue. I'm doing odds. It's 156 Ks apparently. Absolutely pancake flat stage. It's going to be a big bunch sprint. We didn't mention, but I think the sprinters at this race will be Paul
Do we know?
Magnier again. It'll be Magnier. It'll be Pedersen. No. Big Johnny Milan.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Do we know? Because don't think
Which of the Trek
knows
guys
yet.
do we decide?
I don't know who we decided actually in hindsight. I think we decided Milan.
I think Milan. I think Pedersen goes for green. Milan.
There's a couple of stages
Paul
in here
Magnier.
that I'm feeling Pedersen. You're right.
Oh yeah, there's a few good ones for Pedersen. What other sprinters are good? Philipsen? Nah.
Casper van Uden.
I think it's going to be, Milan, Magnier, Groves.
I'm sorry, no.
That's
no.
it.
We got to stop this. We have to get Merlier out of bed right now and shake him alive and tell him, go to the first 6 stages of this Giro and then run away. There's 4 sprint opportunities.
Yeah,
3.5.
but they have Paul Magnier. He won 16 races.
Oh, yeah, but Merlier is going to win them. Magnier could win them.
I don't know. I think they'll split them. They'll split them and give Magnier the Giro again. That's what I would do. So
Possible.
I'm going with Big Johnny Milan winning this one.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment. Who else would be there that could win an opener stage like this? Wow. Decathlon sending Koy to the Tour de France, not the Giro most likely, unless they send them for a week to the Giro. That's a good move for Decathlon, actually. But
No, they'll send Lunda Drayson to the Giro.
I agree with you, though. I think I'm going with Jonathan Milan. I know it's boring to copy your answer, but it's the most likely outcome of this stage is just a flat sprint stage, as simple as that, which is not the case for stage 2 from Burgas, so the finishing location of stage 1 to Veliko Tarnovo. Jesus, Bulgarian is not exactly my strength. 183 kilometers, and when I see this parkour, it shouts to me, Mes Pedersen and Vatsik having fun on the final climb and trying to win the stage, no?
But he's not here.
Yeah, well, that's our problem. If you say he's not here on stage 1 and I say stage 2 fits him, then he should be here.
You think Paul Magnier survives this hill? So it's 3.6k, 6.6%, 8Ks from the finish. I believe the finish is like an uphill kicker, but not that hard. It's a sprinter's uphill sprint. Thibaut Nice says he wants to go for pink maybe on this stage. I think there's going to be a quicker man maybe surviving.
What's Pitcock doing next
shouldn't
year?
No, he's not winning this. Can Magnier survive this hill?
It's not impossible, but it's also not very likely.
It's 8Ks from the finish. It's not like right at the finish.
Yeah, but it's downhill, you know? Like, it's not like you can easily come back in a downhill that easily too, eh?
And someone's going to smash it. It's
And
pretty
the
hard.
route before it is also not super easy.
You know who would win this stage easily?
Pedersen?
He'd beat Pedersen on it. He would beat
Caden
Pedersen
Groves?
on it. No.
I don't fucking know who
Brennan.
you're trying to point at. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we reached the point of acceptance. Or Van der Poel would be. What about Van der Poel back to the Giro? Take the pink jersey on this stage? Good stage for him.
It's very possible.
There's no strata stage for him.
When we looked at the Tour de France parkour, do we vividly remember a parkour that fit Van der Poel
He hates the Tour.
Yeah, he does. And here's an
I
opportunity for
think-
Pink if he does go to the Giro.
So this could be a nice stage. I mean, it's a long stage. We haven't even mentioned breakaway. Who's going to control 220 Ks? Because
Well,
what if teams
someone
look at
because Pink is available.
Yeah. I mean, you got Lund Andresen will be here for Decathlon. He'll be their sprinter for the Giro. You've got Godon. Someone like Ineos will pace for Dorian Godon if he does it, or Axel Laurent. So I think it'll be a nice stage. I'm going to go with Mathieu Van der Poel winning this.
Okay, I'm going with Yeah, that's the issue. I want to go with Pedersen here, but then my logic does not make sense at all. They're not sending Pedersen and Milan both to this race. It's too hard for
Pirelli.
Groves. Do we know what Grand Tour Brennan's going to ride in 2026? No, we don't. I don't at least. And did you just say Fiorelli?
Nah, I didn't.
It took me a second.
It took you a full
Ay,
minute.
ay, ay.
Who's like a sneaky guy from Red Bull? Roglic.
Roger Adia's leaving, right?
What if Roglic is like, fuck it, I just want to crash. I want to crash really early this Giro. Magnus
No.
Cort. X have to do the Giro this year. So
They have to.
well, actually, they
I
can
feel like
skip
there's
it.
someone we are missing.
Nah, we've said a
Why
lot
does
of
Wout van
versatile
Aert not repeat
sprinters.
the Giro?
Because that's a pretty heavy schedule he had this year.
Yeah, but he won
Classics
2
Giro-
Grand Tour stages and bottled
Classics
Wout
Giro
van
Tours.
Vlaanderen.
Pretty heavy.
Skip the tour. Send Brennan to the tour instead. That's very heretical coming from a Belgian.
Got Fiorelli for that job.
Mate, I don't
Okay,
care
yeah,
who wins stage
I-
2. It's in a year.
Okay. Okay, stage 3 is a sprint, 175.6 k's from Plovdiv to Sofia. Finishes in the city. I wonder what it will look like, honestly, in this sprint. But actually, the sprint in Albania and the city was fine in Tirana. Yeah, there's an 8k climb in the middle of the stage. Doesn't matter. It's miles from the finish. Big Johnny Milan makes a mistake in the city centre, and Caden Groves wins.
Okay, I do think Caden Grove should go to this race. I think
Yeah.
stage 2 might be too
Oh,
hard.
he would win
Stage 1 he
stage
can
2.
sprint. I think it's too hard.
Caden Groves is fit.
I agree that he's fit, but I'm feeling meh about that one. Stage 4 is similar to stage 3 actually, Catanzaro to Cosenza, but the climb
It's
is
in Italy, not in Bulgaria.
closer to the yeah, and after a rest day probably, right?
Yep.
They have the extra rest day, but the climb is a bit closer to the. It's not that much closer. But it's a
Yeah, you
longer
can
climb,
drop
15K
Milan on
at
this.
6%. I agree. It's 15K at 6%. You can drop Milan on this. There is still a solid 40-ish kilometers after the top of
Yeah,
the climb
but-
to the finish line, but half of that is
Half
downhill,
that's
so I
downhill.
agree. So it's also just a significantly shorter stage, 30K shorter than stage 3, so there is a big difference in the amount of kilometers after the top of that climb. I'm going for Groves on this one. I think in general, Groves should go to this Grand Tour, because even if Milan is here, Groves can at least be competitive for a potential Ciclamino, I think.
Definitely. Because Milan, if he's not surviving getting any points, then you never know what RCS categorizes it as. I mean, if they make this a 50-pointer, which maybe they won't,
Yeah.
but then and he gets 0, well, he's in trouble. Stage 5 is probably the first really interesting stage, I would say, from Praia
Rude.
Amare to Potenza 204. It's coincidentally 204.9 kilometers long. This looks like our first breakaway stage, absolutely nailed on. It starts uphill with a gradual 14k 5% climb. It's then rolling, then a long flat section, and then we have a 5.5k 5% climb, and that's 6.6k 9.2% climb. And this is where I would say this Giro starts and continues to differ from this year's Giro d'Italia significantly, but for the Colle della Finestra, in that this Giro has a lot of steep climbs, including steep finishing climbs. Steeper than the Tour, not Vuelta Rampas in Humanas, but not soft and much harder. I mean, there wasn't a mountaintop finish in the Giro this year until stage 16, which was, I think, like 18K, 6% average with some downhill sections. Then there was just Finestra, which wasn't a true mountaintop finish, but it basically was. Other than that, there was just Tagliacozzo, which was a 7-minute uphill test. So,
And 7K
I
at
mean,
9% is not a hill, you know?
that's hard.
That's a medium mountain.
Yeah.
So to me, it shouts breakaway though, because of the breakaway climb at the start to really form a hard to control group. Then there's that climb which is 50 kilometers from the finish. So if you do want to do something on that climb, it shouts to me that you want to do it as kind of like a potential surprise, which good luck making a surprise move on the one steep climb on the day. But to me, this shouts breakaway victory plus potential GC action. Or do you think I'm overrating it if I say potential GC action? That climb's hard enough. And yes, it's 50K from the line, but something could happen here.
It's an hour, it's an hour from the finish. And then it is rolling terrain afterwards, but definitely someone will try. I mean, when it's that steep, someone's going to try. I mean, maybe someone's crashed in the previous stages in the white jersey competition, so Riccatello tries something, and then once one guy tries, then everyone goes all in, and then maybe someone's weak that you don't expect. So, but I think breakaway got to be a good climber.
Satellite riders are valuable here, to be honest. If you can get someone in the breakaway over the top of that steep climb and help you in that rolling terrain, then you're cooking.
Who can climb on UAE? Who'll be in the break?
Are we really going to force ourselves to invent a rider to win this race?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
In early December?
Because if you get it right, it's so hard.
If you get it right, you won't remember because it's 7 months later.
I'm going with young Kristen.
Okay, I'm happy for you. Do I really need to find a fucking name too?
Just go like Kevin Vauquelin or something.
I do want to go for a French guy, but I'm not sure Kevin Vauquelin.
I don't know what teams
Full
riders
success. Wow, he's probably going to podium the Giro according to you. So
no, he's doing the Tour de France as their leader. So
are you 100% sure it's Tour de France?
No, I'm not 100% sure. I've never spoken to him, and I don't know anyone in decathlon, but I've decided.
Torsten Trans from the breakaway. There we go.
No, fucking no chance.
He's running for UNOX now, so they have to.
He can't sprint.
What do you? It's a medium mountain stage.
Well, Torsten Tran's he's gonna 50K solo.
Guess you'll find out in May. You want me to predict something in early December, and you're gonna judge me if I just pick the first
Lenny
name
Martinez,
that I see when I open up Pro Cycling Stats, Patrick, and I see
Lenny
latest
Martinez.
transfers, and I look through the list, and I'm like, Biniam, not gonna win the stage. Dylan Finch, not gonna win the stage. Regnanti, never heard of you. Ben Granger sounds like Hermione's brother from Harry Potter. Echevarria cannot climb like this. Gaviria rides backwards these days, and Torsten Tran is the next one. So Tran's my pick.
Echevarria, I think they do think he can climb like this, and also we forgot Binny for stage 2, and so far a good first week for Binny for NSN.
Yes.
By the way, we got a weekly show coming. We'll record tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about, but yeah, whatever NSN is.
Stage 6.
Okay, stage 6.
Paestum to Napoli. Usually when we have Napoli stage, I vividly remember it's like a breakaway circuit-like stage. This is a sprint stage with a potential hardening in the last 10 kilometers. The only attraction in this stage is a 2 kilometer 6% climb with about 6-7 kilometers to go. Oh god, I did it accidentally again. But 160 kilometers, any sprinter should be able to get over this, and the winner should be Jonathan Milan.
It's like the hill that Narvaez attacked on, is it not? And he got reeled in just late on stage 9 in the Naples stage. That was Narvaez.
Or is it too hard for Milan, in your opinion?
No, I don't think it's too hard for him. I think because he also sprinted in that stage. He got beaten by Coy. I more think it could be a cat and mouse that if you're an attacker, you might want to go on that climb.
Yeah.
I think young
Depends
Christian
on the width of the road and so forth.
Yeah. I remember that was pretty wide. I think Jan
Yeah.
Christensen's going to have a crack. I think he's going to get caught. And then it's going to be a sprint, and Paul Manier takes his first Grand Tour stage.
You think Jan Christen will domestique for Almeida?
No. Why
Now
would
onto
he?
a weird stage, Patrick.
Oh, yeah, stage 7. From Formiat to Blockhouse, 245 Ks. What? What? Sorry to borrow from Pardon My Take. 245 kilometers long. Excuse me? Are we allowed to have these in week 1? A 6.5 hour mountain with a hard mountaintop finish? Where's this come from?
Do you know what the worst part? I see the parkour and I'm shouting, why is there not more mountains in it?
I think
if there were more mountains in this, Adam Hansen would already have cancelled it.
Yeah, but there aren't more mountains. We're not in the Dolomites. We're not in the Alps. I believe the Dolomites might be part of the Alps. Technically, don't care.
Triple blockhouse.
We're in the App and we're in the middle of Italy, so I'm not sure how many other big mountains there are. Maybe I'm ignorant of some more geography, but
A blockhouse circuit.
yeah, like a De Grappa circuit. It's the first 123 Ks are just rolling. It's probably more climbing than you'd think. Then there's medium mountains, 9Ks 5%, 7Ks 6%, and then quite a lot of climbing actually. And then the blockhouse, 14Ks 8.3%. The last time they used this was in 2022 when Jai Hindley won a group of like 6 sprint on top. Gone are the days. That doesn't even... Gone are the days that happens. Although
that was the most passive climb in the history I've ever seen. Was it Bardet?
So I can't. It was Nibbles, Carapaz, Landa, Hindley. It was good.
I think
that
Bardet
was real cyclism. Yeah, I think you might have been.
It was very.
There's some
intriguing.
steep sections. The last K though, if you're together, it is only 5%, 5.5%, so it will be a sprint. So, I mean, does it? I think this stage happens because there's no snow. It could be raining, but they don't go to high altitude, and we're in the middle of Italy. It shouldn't be that cold. Fingers crossed. I mean, there should be big gaps.
It's also stage 7. Does that matter?
Oh, like they can't complain yet.
Yeah, they have to like warm up before they can.
It was 191 Ks in 2022, and it was 5,000 meters total climbing. We still had a group of whatever sprints. So, yeah, it depends how it's raced. Could be a breakaway. Who's going to want to control? I think this is going to be GC.
Ooh. It's a very long stage to control, 245 kilometers, but the hotness of the parkour could help control whatever is up the road. Then again, the start is not completely flat. There's some uphill segments in all sprinkled throughout the first 100 kilometers that could lead to larger groups potentially getting away. I think it's... Ooh. I think...
Mate,
I was going to say breakaway because it's 245 kilometers.
True.
And now,
UAE won't control for Almeida, will they? Even though he could win on this, he won on Bondone. He won. Bondone was a similar stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, hard stage. Mark that down in your little notebooks if you're listening as the first proper mountaintop finish. A mountaintop finish harder than anything we had in the 2025 Giro d'Italia. Stage 8, Benji.
I think Paul Sixas wins on Blockhouse. Anyway.
Okay.
Chieti to Fermo. I swear we just had Fermo. No, it was Formia. Sorry.
No, we had
Formia was
Formia.
the start of the Blockhouse stage, and now stage 8 finishes in Fermo. They're just making cities that sound like each other these days. This is 157 kilometers. The first 70% of the stage is basically flat, but then the hill/medium mountain starts. We're talking about 9 kilometers at 4% is the first one. Then we've got 5%, that's 5 kilometers at 6%. Then 2 smaller ones of 3 kilometers at 5%. Then we have 500 meters at, what is that, 1%? No, 11. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, why the hell would you put it on a parkour? But I think the most important factor here will be the 2 climbs in the last 10 kilometers. We've got the Capo d'Arco climb. I remember that vividly from somewhere, don't know where. 4.5-ish kilometers at 5%, followed by a climb that is categorized as
This is
roughly
a Tirreno
3.4
finish,
kilometers at
no?
6%. But there's a steep portion at the start of the last climb of 700 meters at 14%. And I agree with you. I remember Fermo from Tirreno Adriatico. And Chieti is definitely from Tirreno Adriatico.
Is this when Roglic helped Van Aert?
Ooh, I'm not so sure about that. What I remember is that the starting location, Chieti, is where Alberto Contador did a masterpiece back in the day in his yellow jersey Saxo Tinkoff days. That's what I remember about this, but my brain's stuck in 2020 right now. Who wins this? Breakaway,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Anyway, this is a classic. This is a classic breakaway Moody stage where you have like the awesome battle between a Van der Poel. This reminds me of the Binny Van der Poel stalemate when Thomas de Gent snuck away and won when those two were marking each other. Although this does finish uphill. I'm going Thibaut Nice from the break.
I think that's a really good
yeah,
call.
That was
actually.
Naples, I think. But these are usually great.
Ooh.
These are usually great stages, so I'm going with Nice.
I think that is a really good call. Are there any other punchers in the world? Like, I don't know if you have this. Right now, it's like the 2nd of December as we're recording this. My brain in the off season is so mush. I can't think of a single rider. But
I'm locked
if
in.
we,
I'm locked in.
You're completely locked in, bro. I'm happy for you. Who the hell could win this stage? Van der Poel from breakaway makes sense.
I'm in the
you
evening
believe he's
and
going
you
to
just
start the
woke up.
Giro? Well, yeah,
Nah,
it's like 7 in the morning here. It's not, but it feels like it.
It is pretty hard finishing climb.
I'm going for Mauro Schmidt.
Oh, he loves a stage like this. He'll be in for sure. He'll be in the break or Abrahamson type guy. Stage 9 from Cervia to Corno alle Scale, 185 kilometers long, absolutely flat start, and then we just have climbing right at the end. Quite a strange. This is a Vuelta style Unipuerto. Really strange stage for a Giro, actually. Kind of like really 150 k's of flat. And then we have a warm-up climb of 9 k's, 4%, and then a fake news climb, 13 k's at 6%. It's in 2 steps though, or 3. It's like 3.5 k's, 6.5%, bit of a break, another bit at 6%. But then the last 3 k's are 10%. So it's a proper ramp of 7 minutes, 8 minutes to the finish. So
Jonas Vingegaard.
Yeah, very suitable, like sort of finish for him. Like, what was that stage he won in the Vuelta? Stage 16, the 10-minute climb where Finn chased him.
Beches.
No, the one in 23 when Fisher Black chased him. Beches. Yeah, good climb for him. If Pog's not there, he's usually no one can beat him either on these sort of finishes. All right, that takes us to our second rest day, and then now we are into week 2, which is well, actually, I lied. There is a GC stage in there, but yeah, we have something for maybe a Remco Evenepoel on stage 10, Benji.
Yes, it is a time trial, and it's not a short one. It's 40 kilometers in total. Now, it is basically completely flat, so I don't have much to add when it comes to the profile of this time trial. It's simply a 40-kilometer flat time trial, which 40-kilometer time trial in Grand Tours, back in the day, that was nothing. Now that's a lot. So I'm happy to see a long, flat time trial. If Remco Evenepoel is at the start, Remco Evenepoel wins his time trial. I don't think Remco Evenepoel will be at the start, so I'm thinking Ganna or Tarling. Are there other names that come in your mind that you're like, oh, this rider could win?
Yeah, I mean that's the order, right? It's Remco, Ganna, Tarling, and then it seems pretty unlikely that all 3 of those riders won't be here.
Yeah.
Affini,
Yeah, but
So
I
yeah,
feel like Affini
the
has
hater
moved
or
from.
Affini.
Affini was back in the day like a more of a prologue rider. Then he started winning longer time trials. But is he ready to win a 40-kilometer time trial against potentially Gunnar and Tarling? I'm not sure I feel that.
He came third in the World Championships TT, which was a 46k TT last year.
Fair, but he didn't win.
No, I'm saying if all of Gunnar, Tarling, Remco are not there. No, I'm saying if any of those three are there, they win.
Well, yeah, but even if they are there, he's competitive.
But,
if he can podium a World Championships of 46k, you know.
Yeah. How much time can Remco take on Vingegaard and Almeida on this TT?
Which riders did you say? How much time can who take on Vingegaard and Almeida?
How much time can Remco?
Wow. I would be hoping for 40 seconds on the closer GC riders.
40 seconds. 40 seconds.
What do you mean? You think much more?
Oh, don't turn up then. 40 seconds. That's one mountaintop finish and some bonies.
Guess.
Fucking don't bother.
Jonas Vingegaard's not a shit time trialist.
Other than 2 minutes.
2
Bro,
minutes.
40k TT. Doesn't Remco normally... Yeah, doesn't Remco normally put third place on like a minute and a half?
What is the Tour de France time trial that he did?
Yeah, but they're never flat. They're never flat. They're hilly. Well, this is absolute... This is aero missile scud.
33 kilometers, almost flat. And Vingegaard did lose a minute and 20 seconds, but that was disappointing. Volkela was on 50 seconds.
Hold on.
I'm leaning more to a minute after seeing the results of this year's Tour de France time trial, but I don't feel like 2 minutes is what I'd be shouting.
That wasn't flat.
I'm looking at the parkour. It looks flat.
They averaged 54?
There's 191
and what did he
altitude
average
meters.
in the... And then...
That's a bridge in Belgium. Okay, it's not, but...
In the Olympics, what did he average in the TT?
Let me take a look.
54. Yeah, that doesn't help my argument. Okay, you're right. It probably shouldn't be. Two minutes would be an absolute disaster. So
I love how he started shouting.
I think more like...
seconds?
Nah, 40 seconds is fucked. What do you mean?
A minute,
seconds.
roughly. A minute 20 to Almeida, maybe.
He has arrows. His skin is aerodynamic.
2 minutes is even more fucked for the others.
This
if
TT,
Vingegaard's
the
on
big
2
question...
minutes, he can leave. He can go make floors.
Well, no, because there's climbs in the race. So,
Yes.
Is this TT enough to get Remco
No.
Evenepoel to the start line, thinking he can win the overall race? No?
I think if there was another secondary time trial on the final day in Milan, for example, if it was a Milan finish instead of a Rome finish, then I would maybe say yes. Then it's maybe 60k of flat time trials or 60k of time trials. That's not the case. This is the time trial. I don't think that's enough to change his mind from my perspective.
I agree. I think 140k flat TT, and then there's like, we haven't got to most of them. There's 7 hard, steep mountaintop finishes, which it's not actually that balanced. If it was like this year's route plus a 40k TT, then it'd be a great route for him, but I don't think so either. I don't think it's enough personally, and I don't think he'll go. Stage 11 from Forcari to Cavari, 178 kilometers long. This looks like a nailed-on breakaway medium mountain stage. We have a last climb of 4.6k, 6.5%, about 10k's from the finish. So yeah, this is a break stage for like a Magnus Court, and so I will go with a Uno X rider of your choice, whoever you want. Magnus Court, Abrahamson, I don't care.
I'm happy for you. How do we feel about? Do we know what Skelmos is gonna do next year when it comes to parkour?
Complain.
Because
I don't know. He'll
oh, Jesus
probably
Christ,
do.
it's not impossible for him to win this stage if he's in a breakaway, but then he'd have to drop out of GC already. Just maybe a
Breakaway.
bit early.
Breakaway. They signed. Excuse me. Breakaway. He was promised a full team around him as a GC leader, Benji, and now they brought in Ayuso
Yeah, but
without
Ayuso
consulting
arrived.
him. Breakaway. This is week 2.
Are we neglecting the fact that UAE could send 7 riders to this Giro that can win breakaway stages
Yes,
left
that's
and
what
right?
I'm telling
Like a McNulty?
you. That's what I'm telling you. Young Kristen is going to be in the break with like Narvaez, and what are you going to do? Nothing.
McNulty's gonna win stage 11.
McNulty. Pick McNulty. Yeah.
I just
Pick
did.
McNulty. Almeida will get dropped, and then McNulty will be like, it wasn't my dream to win a stage in the Giro d'Italia, but ever since I was a kid, I would love to win my 4th stage.
Okay.
Being
Stage 12 from Imperia to Novi Ligure, 178 kilometers. Mostly flat. There's 2 climbs in the with about 30% of the stage left. It's the Colle. Give me a second. Gotta go sideways with my head for a second. I'm moving sideways. I can almost read
Giovio.
it. Colle Giovo and the Brigberton. The first one is 8 kilometers at 5%. The second one is 8 kilometers at 5%. So basically copy pasta with a limited descent in between. So it's not super easy, but I'm still feeling like, is this hard enough to drop Milan on it? I'm not sure.
nah, no way. It's a sprint.
It's a long stage. It's like
It's a
50k left
sprint.
from the top.
If Milan goes to Giro, they'll put the whole team around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Milan
it's a
wins
sprint.
stage 12.
Yeah, I'll go with Caden Groves. No, Milan. Stage 13 is a bit different. It's 187 Ks long, absolutely flat from Alessandria to Verbania. And this time we might see a puncher team controlling. Again, quite interesting stage design. 2.4K warm-up climb, 5.7%. And then straight into the Unjaska, which is 4.7K, 7%. And then the last 2Ks are 10%. The crest of that is
Ooh.
13 Ks from the finish. Looks like a Roglic no risk, no glory type finish. Who wants to control this is the question, because if you're Thibaut Nice, yeah, I mean,
You get dropped by a
actually,
Vingegaard
no,
if he
good stage for
tries there.
Nice. Good stage for Vanderpool.
Actually, I
Exactly,
think
that's
it's
the
too
thing.
hard.
What if a GC guy opens the taps?
I don't think it's a good
Yeah, but
stage
it's
for
13
those
Ks
two
from the
riders
finish. Are the
because
GC guy's going to continue?
it's 5 kilometers at 7%, you know? It's not like... It's also not super steep, I guess.
Yeah, but so they don't drop. So they don't all drop each other.
Can they come back is the question.
I reckon Roglic attacks, and because he knows he can get a gap on Almeida, I think it's going to be a GC group of 3 sprint after a puncher team control, and then I think Giulio Ciccone says, I'm not pulling, and then he wins the sprint from the GC guys.
Jan Kristen, no risk, no glory. That is how I feel when I look at this. And worst
Jan
case, it's from the
Kristen.
breakaway.
The ghost of Victor Lefay.
The ghost of Victor Lafay. Well, he won't get the wild card this year, that's for sure. Stage 14 from Aosta to Pila. We've got a proper mountain stage. Kind of reminds me profile-wise of the Tourmalet stage of the Vuelta a couple of years ago, but the first time is the Saint-Barthélemy. We've got 17K at 5.5%, so not the steepest climb, but there's steeper gradients in there every now and then, some flatter parts as well. Then we've got the middle section of the stage, which starts with, I'd classify an easier climb. My nose just got stuck. So give me 1 second to get back to the stage where I was. There we go. It's only 6 kilometers, but the gradients are not overly steep of that climb, 6.5%. But it's a longer climb than that. It's like maybe 10 kilometers with a flat section in between. Anyway, the third climb on the parkour is the Ligne Noire. This is halfway the stage, by the way. Just about 7.5 kilometers at 8%. Directly followed by the Vergogne climb, 5.4%, 5.4 kilometers, 7%. Then a long descent toward the final climb, which is the Pila climb, 17k at 7%. So this is a mountain stage. This is 133 kilometers, so could be controllable for a peloton. For me, this is Jonas Vingegaard wins.
This is stage potentially getting cancelled territory. Which stage is getting cancelled or shortened?
The 1919, right? Passo Giao?
Nah, that's too. You can't do it when it's that late in the race.
But you can. Of course you can.
Oh, they did. Actually, no, Passo Giao, they literally did that when Bernal won. True, that's the obvious
Cortina
one.
d'Ampezzo,
I was
is
thinking
that?
this. Yeah. I was thinking the Swiss one, they'll like somehow not have the road approvals when they cross the border, and it ends up being a 50k stage, like the abhorrent Tour de Swiss stages that they've had. But this is a brutal stage, Benji. I'm going with Filippo Zana on quick step, him or Valentin Perry-Pancher from the break.
I like the idea. I like it. On to stage 15, and this one's for you.
Indeed. This is a pancake flat sprint, 135 Ks, and Big Johnny Milan wins in Milano.
You have to pick him. It finished in Milan, which is actually unusual. I think it's a circuit, actually. I think they do 4 times a Milano circuit, actually.
3 times circuit in Milan.
It's a short stage. It's a pure sprint stage. But usually when they go to Milan is the final stage. So I was kind of surprised seeing this one, but I agree. If Milano is the finishing location, we have to pick Jonathan Milan. And you spoke about Switzerland just a second ago. Stage 16 is Switzerland. Bellinzona to Cari is apparently in Switzerland, according to the CH I see on the profile. There's 4 climbs before the final climb. They're kind of like smash in the middle of the stage, but they're like 4 kilometers at 6% each. Some are steeper, some are less steep. And then the final climb is a long one of 12 kilometers at 8%. So this is controllable from the peloton. It's 113 kilometers only. Is the climb super hard? I don't have an exact profile in front of me. Cari profile. Let's hope Google gives me some help.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, there's
they used it in
a 10% section in the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Is it boring if I just keep saying Jonas Vingegaard for every hard mountain stage?
Boy, Almeida got duped by Adam Yates on this climb when Yates was like, I'll let you win GC, just let me win some stages, and then I'm in really bad shape, and then he he like did the same time in the TT and won GC at Swiss. I feel like a UAE guy from the break,
okay,
to be honest. It's because
it's 113k
the GC guys are, but the GC guys are looking at 1920, right? I'm not saying there won't be GC action.
Yeah.
Say Vingegaard or Almeida. Say the guy has the best climber in the race has already shown that, and they have after Pila, after Blockhouse, they have a good lead.
Yeah.
Who's going to control?
Them. Then they should definitely control. You should 100% control if you know you're going to dominate the final mountain. You should not control if you're not sure.
But you got 1920. You got Passo Giao coming up. You got Piancavallo coming up.
I'd be okay
if we're going for rest day. Yeah, normally rest day they go for it. I'm going for Lorenzo Fortunato.
Okay, I like the idea. Stage 17 from Cassano d'Ara to Andalo. It's a breakaway stage. Like there's 2 climbs in the first half, which is both. What did you just say to me?
I'm odd numbers.
Are you? Yes, you are.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I just robbed your work. My bad.
Anyway, it's a medium. It's a medium mountain stage. It looks good for Thibaut Nice. Is anyone going to, like, no way they control it for Milan. I think it's going to be another beautiful break stage. And I'm going again for, this looks like a Maro. I'm going for Maro Schmidt on this one. This looks like a perfect Maro Schmidt Cone Bowman rematch.
I feel that. I actually do feel that. I'm trying to think of other riders that come to my mind. Maybe an Igor Arieta UAE attack. I don't know if he's going to be at the Giro, but I'm just thinking of any UAE rider that could be in the breakaway. I don't think Marc Soler is going to show up. You're looking and thinking. I can see the gears
Rouge
working.
Adria on Movistar.
I like the idea. I think that's a good call, actually. I think that's a good pick. I was thinking maybe Echevarria, but then I was like, who's the already established Echevarria? Adria, you know? So
Who's the better version of that they had, yeah.
yeah. In fact, stage 18 to me shouts Abrahamsen victory. It's a 166 kilometers. On paper, it's easy enough to be able to be controlled, but there's a couple of really steep hills in there where when I look at the parkour, I think, yeah, breakaway. Because in the last 10 kilometers, you've got the Muro Cat del Poggio. Where do we know this from? I know this from somewhere.
This year's Giro, they used it in break formation. It was the most chaotic break formation stage when the entire GC group was in the break after this climb, and then basically anyone that was there could go in the break.
Yeah, it's 1K at 11.5%. It's in the last 10 kilometers. I'm feeling large breakaway attempt in the final week. The sprinter teams are either willing to let the break win or putting their own riders in it, or tired of controlling, or want to survive this Grand Tour at this point. I think Jonas Abrahamsen wins stage 18 of the Giro d'Italia. Or Quinn Simmons.
Oh, yeah, Quinn Simmons is a good shout.
Might go to the Tour.
Yeah. Quinn Simmons is a good shout. I don't have a strong view, actually. I think it could even be a sprint. So I'm going to go with, you know who would win this?
Who? Brennan.
I'm going to go with Manier again. I think Manier. I know it's actually really, really steep, that climb. It's such a hilly stage. I think I might be overestimating it there. Anyway. Maybe Dorian. Actually, I like Godon. I'm going with Godon. I think this suits him, this race. Stage 19, the Queen stage from Feltre to Piane di Pezze, 152 kilometers long, 5,000 plus meters of elevation. We have two 2,000 meter summits. We first do the Passo Duran, 12Ks, 8%. And there's a hilly / flattish 40Ks to start, and then literally no flat afterwards. Like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 proper climbs. Crazy hard stage. Duran, 12Ks, 8%. Koi, 6Ks, 9%. That was used in the 23 Giro that Roglic won. Yeah, I don't think he'll be there for this climb. Then the another 7K, 6% climb. Then the Passo João, which is 9.7Ks, 9.5%, up to 2,200 meters. Brutal climb. Then descent. Then the Falzarego climb, which is 11Ks at 5%, also to altitude, and then the last 6Ks like 6.5%. Long descent. And then we have a short but steep climb, 5Ks at 10%. This is a beautiful stage. I hope they can do it. Like, it's just a perfect stage where you have to go on Passo João from far, and I hope we get it.
I think it's a good parkour design as well. Like, there's lots of places where you could make a move. I think the Passo João is the one that shouts to me. That's the one where you really need to make a move if you have to. Because that Falzarego climb is too easy for me to use as a jumping plank. The last climb is hard, yes, but it's too late to wait for if you have to make a decent amount of time up. So you can't wait that long if you're even 40, 50 seconds behind. That's a very big risk. So Passo João is where it's at. The others before that are what I would say to be warm-up climbs, but to be honest, Koi itself is already super steep. So if you really need to take 5 minutes back, fucking YOLO on Koi or
9%.
something, that's hard. So I do feel this is GC because of the fact that it's not that simple. I was gonna say because it starts relatively flat, etc. But we're stage 19 of the Giro d'Italia.
Because like you got to remember, Colle del Finestra, the break won, and not by much, because they had like 190 Ks of flat where rouleurs were pulling absolutely full. To win this from the break, you have to be the best climber in the race.
Well, it's not impossible that a top 5 climber in the race drops out of GC and can go for the stage. We've had that in past Giros, no? Like,
yeah, but fuck, how well do you have to climb? Yeah, I guess you can make it up on the descents.
You'd have to be like a Londa out of GC rider or a Carapaz out of GC rider, though. Which, yeah, good luck.
Oh, Landa, there you go.
Feeling GC, though. You're picking Landa.
Yeah, I'm picking Landa.
I love it. I actually love it. I think the winner is João Almeida to fight back from the Cortina d'Ampezzo cold days.
Oh, true, yeah. All right. So that's a brutal stage, and now we got another, pretty hard mountaintop finish straight afterwards, Benji.
To be honest, like stage 20, Gemona del Friuli, 199 kilometers to Piancavallo. Piancavallo is the climb in 2020 where Jai Hindley put a monstrous performance on the record. But this time we are doing it twice. You've got the first Piancavallo with about 60 kilometers to go. Then the second one at the finish line. Piancavallo is 15 kilometers roughly, 14.4 at 7.8%. The steepest portion is the first 60% of the climb, with gradients up to, I'd say, 12.4 kilometers being the hardest kilometer. Then I would say flattens out in the last 5K, but flattening out is maybe an overstatement because there's still a kilometer of 7.3, 8.4, and so forth in the last 3 kilometers. But kind of, if I'm being honest, I'm feeling Almeida more for this stage than the one before.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a mix because Almeida on harder,
in 2020
stages,
they used this.
What do you mean?
How did Gegenhardt beat Kelderman and Hindley in like a 200-meter sprint when he was isolated? What was going on? Did they not attack him?
Wait. What are we talking about? Are we talking about Piancavallo or?
Yeah, Piancavallo 2020 Giro.
Yeah, but didn't Jai Hindley ride the entire time for
Kelderman?
I swear Hindley rode the entire time with Kelderman in his wheel.
Instead of attacking.
And then Kelderman won the sprint. I lost the sprint, sorry. Because Jai Hindley was not the GC rider yet, remember? He was in GC, but he wasn't the leader. He was on 3 minutes at that point. Almeida was in pink?
Because Almeida was in the leader's jersey,
yeah.
so Almeida was in pink. Yeah. And this was the first ever thermonuclear performance.
Yeah.
But this was the one that started the post-COVID crazy performances where we're like, hold on.
Yes.
What did they just do?
And where does it rate now? Because back then it was like, oh shit, this is like next level watts. But compared to like 2023 Tour de France, it's nowhere, right? 2024, sorry.
2024. Some of those Giro performances were pretty good.
Yeah?
Like in 2020. Yeah, they're not poggy and they're not like 2024 Tour, but compared to the second tier guys now, like that Giro still aged pretty well from Hindley.
Okay.
I think. Okay, it's kind of like, what's the point of this stage, right? Whoever's been the best climber should have shown it the day before, and so they're either way ahead and then they let the break win so that you don't risk losing pink and being greedy, or whoever just got dominated the day before. I mean, maybe they're still close and they need to take back more time, I guess, but
if you switched it around, if Piancavallo was stage 19 and Passuggia was stage 20, then Piancavallo would 100% not have attacks on the first Piancavallo. because people would be scared of the day after. Now this first Biancavallo
I
can
see
be an
what you mean.
emergency backup, you know?
Yeah, true. It is steep. 9K's 9% for the first 9K's. Okay. I still think breakaway, so I'm going to go with Lenny.
I am going with I'm just gonna double down. Paul Sixas wins on Biancavallo. At least one of the stages he'll take, I reckon. So, but
Stage 21.
yeah, I reckon
Finishing in Rome.
this. By the way, this Rome stage is not conclusive. This is the copy from last year, I think, the last
it's not?
time, because it's not been fully announced yet, if I recall correctly.
Sketched out.
But it's roughly a flat sprint stage.
It's not a TT. It is a sprint, so I'm going to go with Ganna and a late attack instead, just to
Ooh.
be a bit contrarian. But the real,
Groves.
like I said at the start, Groves, yeah, he's good at the end of the Grand Tour. Like I said at the start, the massive difference. I mean, look, let's go through the real key mountaintop finishes. Biancavallo, that's 8% average with a 9K 9% section at mountaintop finish. We got 5K 10% mountaintop finish after 5,000 meters Queen stage, including the Zhao. We have Kari 11K's 8% average. Pila's the classic 16.6Ks at a steady 7%. That's still pretty hard. That would have been as hard as stage 16 this year. Then we still have this Corno alla Scale, which is like 8 minutes at 10%. And then Blockhouse is 8. There's a lot of steep climbing in this race and mountaintop finishes compared to this year. So I think the TT is nice, but like I said, for Remco, I think guys like Almeida and Vingegaard can take back that time against him on the steep climbs.
I think so as well. And when I look at this parkour, I think it's actually a good parkour for Jonas Vingegaard, because on paper you can say, oh, he lost a minute 20 whatever in the Tour de France time trial last year. Low-key irrelevant, because that's to Remco Evenepoel, who, like you say, if he's at the start, I'd expect him to lose that time quite comfortably on these mountaintop finishes. And then I look at the other riders like Almeida. Almeida's a solid time trialist, but he also won't be taking minutes on Vingegaard in a 40-kilometer time trial either. If there's difference between the two, I'm talking like a few 10 seconds maybe. So to me, it's all about the climbing efforts, and there Jonas should on paper have the upper hand. Also because it would be the question is also, if Vingegaard does the Giro before the Tour, because I'd assume he would do the Giro Tour double then, that would mean that Vingegaard might have to pick and choose a little bit, because the doubles he's done so far when it comes to Grand Tours, his second Grand Tour was perhaps his worst every single time. The Vuelta in 2023, he got sick, I think, throughout. Same when it comes to the Vuelta last year. Is there a pattern that his body gets so tired that he's more prone to sickness in the period of his second Grand Tour? Is that a possibility? That's something that I'm thinking about potentially. The Giro is not his second Grand Tour, but maybe they try and go into the Giro undercooked to make sure he doesn't get super tired by the time the Tour de France arrives. And then it could potentially hit his chances to win this Giro as easily as he on paper should. Does that make any sense?
Well, I see what you're saying, but the problem with that is, I mean, this Giro, there's no Tagliacozzo, which is like an 8-minute test. I mean, you can maybe maximum lose 10 seconds. It looks bad, but it's ultimately not going to change the race. And maybe you can just hold it, and it was just an uphill sprint, really. This Giro has Blockhouse stage 7 after 250 Ks. I mean, this Giro has a 7K, a 20-minute, 9% climb on stage 5, and then it has a 45-minute threshold test on the flat and a TT on stage 10. You can't just ship time there. Now, maybe he's good enough that not in best shape, he can just hold serve. And then in a week 3, you've got Kari, Queen stage, which in a Giro, you can't wait and say there's going to be a Queen stage where I'm going to take time in week 3. It could be cancelled, man. Seriously, all jokes.
Right.
No, all jokes aside, like Like, you can't just be, oh no, we'll just stage 20 will make it happen. Like, fucking, it could be bad weather, whatever. Like in 2021 when Bernal won it. So I don't see it that much as a Giro you can grow into the race.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially because Blockhouse is so early. There's a couple of stages that might have GC action already. And you're right, like back in the day with Vincenzo Nibali, he could afford to lose 5 minutes to Kruiswijk in the first 2 weeks, and then Kruiswijk would ride into an iceberg because stages weren't cancelled when there was an iceberg on top of a mountain. Now, when that happens, I don't think the stage is happening, you know? That was just the crazy stage, by the way.
And yeah, those stages are crazy. I was trying to think of an example. Oh, so on the other hand, I don't see a lot of like in between mountain stages where, like he has to control. Like this year, the only one I can really look at is stage 5, where there is a proper climb and you got to be ready for it, but probably nothing happens. This year there was a lot of those stages with a long climb like Grappa in the middle, but then it was not a mountaintop finish. It was still a hard stage. You got to control it if you're UAE, although they were the strongest team. So I think it's a very, very different route, and I think it's suitable. It's very good for punchers that can also go in the break, like Naes, like Van der Poel, like Abrahamsen, like Magnus Kort, like Mauro Schmidt. I think it's a great classic Giro route for them. Kristen, yes. There's some absolutely pancake flat sprints for pure sprinters. I think Dainese, maybe Dainese comes, not Manier then, because there's the flat ones.
I don't think you can trust on Dainese already at this point. Like, he could be...
you need to prove it first.
Yeah, Manier, you know, if Manier goes to this Grand Tour that he should be competitive for a stage win. With Dainese, you're like, could he potentially win that completely pancake flat stage? Yes, it's at Quick Step now, but we've got no confirmation yet, you know? So that's my
I would rate this.
There, to be honest, if I look at this parkour, there's at least 3 stages where I'm like, Pedersen can compete for the stage win here. It's not that simple, the Milan versus Peter and Pig. 4 stages.
Stage 2?
So stage 2?
4?
I think stage 13 and 11 breakaway. Stage 19.
4, definitely.
No, not 19. Not 19. That's a Passagial stage.
6?
Stage 18, maybe? Breakaway?
11, yeah. I mean, I think if he's in he was crazy good this year, like in the first week of the Giro. If they bring the whole squad around him, Verona, Bernard, and it's all around him, and they get to these hills and they make them absolutely full gas, and then he's just sprinting against Edoardo Zambanini, then there's more in this for him than Milan.
I'm not sure, to be honest, like, because if you send Milan, you're likely going to win at least 2 stage wins, and Ciclamino, and stage 1, you're probably going to take the pink jersey.
I see Milan as having 6 chances, so he's going to win 3.
Yeah, I think Milan. Then again, Tour de France, just send both to the Tour de France, bro.
I forgot the Tour route.
Me too. We should do a new route reaction because we're clearly forgetting it after a week.
I think it's going to be Milan, but I do see there's a lot in it for both of them. What's your overall impression of the route? I mean, the Bulgarian stages, I have no idea how they'll go. There is the one versatile sprint stage, otherwise it's 2 big sprints, but I actually have to say, in the phase of, we're never going to get a Zormenian route again. It's modern cycling 2026. We're not going to get it. I quite like the route.
I think it's solid as well. I do have the maybe Zormenian like trait of thinking, okay, the stage that is long, which is the Blockhouse stage, is one of the ones that I'd expect to be short, while then I'd like a harder stage to be longer, you know? It's probably completely unrealistic in 2025, but imagine if the Piani di Pezzi stage was 210 kilometers, for example, instead of 150. That is such a difference, you know? And that changes things up quite a bit, makes that stage even more monstrous than it already is. I don't know how much 245 kilometers is going to affect the blockhouse stage. You know?
Yeah, I think it's 40 Ks longer than last time. I think what we're missing is the
Second time trial.
Second time trial, but the Finestra stage was a massive success. You know, it was
Yeah.
the last crazy stage as good as that maybe in the Giro. The Stelvio stage in 2020, where you have a long ass climb, 25K, 7.5% to 2,700 meters, and then a descent and then another climb afterwards. I think we are missing a monster climb like that. That's not the final climb. I know we have it with Zhao, so that is kind
It's
of
not
that
the
stage.
same to me.
It's not the same. Stelvio's an hour at 7.5% to 2,800 meters.
You have no breaks in Passo Giao. You got the descent that comes after before the Falzarego, sorry. Then a long descent before the final climb, which is fine. But it's more the factor that it's not like a continuous 1 hour effort with no breaks in between either. Like the descents are not breaks, but they are kind of breaks, you know? So I feel you there. But I still think stage 19 is going to be good.
My only knock on the route is indeed it's missing one mythical climb. I would have loved to have seen the return of Zoncolan, Stelvio, or Mortirolo. Because if Vingegaard does the Giro, you want to see him on the same climb as Contador, you know, in the 20, you know, Mortirolo or whatever. So I think that's maybe missing a little bit.
Can I be honest?
Mortirolo's
I really missed it. That is not where I was going with that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I'm just thinking back to the 2016 Giro when I see this 2,700 altitude meter Colle Daniello where the iceberg happened. I'm sorry, but imagine if that still existed. Oh, it's
iceberg?
painful.
That's long gone, buddy.
I don't mean the iceberg. I mean the mountain being in the Giro, but it's too high and too risky, so they don't do it anymore. But
that's a sad reality. That's why they don't.
Because it wasn't just one stage.
Yeah.
The day after was Col de la Bonnette, 2,700 altitude meters again, followed by the Colle della Lombarda, which is 2,400 altitude meters. Every year had 2,500 meter climbs everywhere.
Benji, the week before, even the Passo Giao stage at 2,200 meters, and we shaken, terrified. Because you know what happens. There'll be one person who listen.
Stage 16 of 2015. Look it up.
2015.
Stage 16 of 2015. I would have enjoyed a stage like that being in it.
Yeah, but someone will share an AI photo of like snow on top of one of Passo Giao in January, a week before on Twitter, and then all the riders will say I'm not. They'll say I'm not doing it.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, that stage 16 is a nice stage. From Pinzolo to Africa.
Was that the Hashidal year?
I didn't watch that. That's Contador was cooking them with no team. Landa and Aru. That was Landa Aru 2015.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
What year was Quintana Hashidal? 2014.
Stage. Yeah.
No, Quintana was 2014 where he dropped to it on in the neutralization.
Hashidal was 2012.
2012. Thomas de Gent, of course. Podium the race after being in the breakaway on the Stelvio stage.
That's crazy.
Legendary edition.
What's the equivalent of that
Rodriguez.
now? What's the equivalent of Thomas de Gent? What's the equivalent of Thomas de Gent podium? Is it like Campenaerts or Wellens podiuming a Grand Tour?
Trying to think of a similar rider. Wellens is
Schmidt.
Relatively similar. No, de Gent was a better climber than Schmidt is. Who's like a fringe top 15, top 20 rider that has a good time trial? Did I just ask a very difficult question?
Remco. The the I don't like. I don't think Remco will do this Giro. I think he'll do. I just don't see it. There's too many. The Tour, he can still win the Hilly TT.
I think this is a. The climbs are very steep for. Dude, is Derek G gonna ride his bike by this point in the year?
Yes, Derek G exists. Like who is on the Ineos Grenadiers?
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know. Listening to what's occurring next week to find out. So, I mean,
I refuse.
it's a Carapaz route, is it? This is a Carapaz podium. Absolutely.
Well,
Carapaz will podium this
40k
race.
flat TT.
Actually, he's not out of contract anymore, is he?
He only
but
performs
Benji-
when it comes out of contract.
The 40k TT is going to be all terrible time trial riders competing against each other in the 40k TT.
Vingo and Almeida are not terrible time trial riders. They
Yeah,
can take a
there's a
minute on
third
Carapaz.
Yeah, there's a third spot available, and he's going to be competing against Landa, Gol, Riccatello.
G?
Yeah, but he can't climb. Like, not like Carapaz. No, not like 10% finish. Actually, that's not true. He did in the Dauphiné.
Corridor Finestre was pretty good.
G won't be allowed. G's racing the Tulsa Tough. He's not allowed to race during this.
Just for your argument.
Who else is a good climber? I already said Riccatello. Benjamin Noval
Jan
and
here,
Paul.
24.
Dude, they got to send Seychelles to this. He'll podium this easily.
I told you that he was going to podium this.
No, you said Paul Seychelles, a useless bum.
I didn't say that at all.
Yes, you
This
did.
vividly reminds me of the moments back in 2023, 2024 when you just invented that I was calling Almeida a piece
An
of
overhyped-
nothing.
Overhyped, winless fuck. And it was in 2022.
And then he won twice.
Yeah, but then he didn't win for a long time again. But he won a lot this year. I think Almeida's underrated now.
I think he's correctly rated.
He's clearly the third best GC rider in the world to me. Clearly.
I think so too.
I don't think people view him that way.
Yeah. I think Lipovic is not that far off.
Poor. True, Lipovic did a harder schedule. He did Dauphiné, and so whereas Almeida did Swiss, which he cleaned up.
If Lipovic and Almeida were riding a Grand Tour head-to-head, then I would expect Almeida to bottle a random fucking moment in the race and Lipovic to ride 10 minutes off the front for 15 kilometers at some point. How does that weigh against each other?
The Lipovic gets to Koi. He's in Koi on stage 20. He's like, let's go. Let's do this.
Oh, this is not the finishing climb?
Is it not a good route for Lipovic?
Wait, was that Pierre Roland back in the day that
I don't know.
attacked on a climb? I think Pierre Roland attacked on a stage at some point on the second last climb, went over the top, and then realized it wasn't the last climb. And then after the stage said he didn't recon or look at the parkour and regretted it or something.
Respect. Fuck them parkour. I'm not reading it. Imagine as if you would read the parkour or look at it when you're in a Grand Tour as a rider. As if you would do that.
Yes!
Just turn up at the start of the stage and just see how the legs feel and give it a crack. That's literally what I would do. As if you're going to... Why would you want to look like, oh, there's this nasty climb coming? Just take it as you see it.
No. I would much rather know what's coming and how long the climb is than arrive at the climb and think, okay, is this 5 kilometers? Oh, maybe it's 5 kilometers. I'll just go over threshold. I'll just ride 150% of my usual watts for the first 5 kilometers of this climb because it's only 5 kilometers. And then you realize, fuck, there's a sign for the Stelvio here. I'm on the Stelvio.
I think riders have got to stop looking at the parkour. I really do. They
No
just-
way. I
just-
think RCS should not announce the parkour until after the stage.
Well, I already do that for the Queen stage.
Okay, fair. And just start the stage, and you gotta follow the motorbikes, otherwise you lose.
Exactly. Start the stage and then just see what the vibe is, and then we don't. The general vibe in the peloton is we're not going to do that HC climb today. It's out.
Would cycling be better? Hypothetically, let's say.
Choose your
Let's
own
say-
adventure.
Yeah, well, if RCS blocks all the cars in an entire province, and you have to get to the finish, and then every rider has a motorbike, that wouldn't be better because you wouldn't see them chasing each other.
That's all. Make a joke.
Does that not exist? Trans-European.
Congratulations, Lachlan Morton. You just won the Giro d'Italia. So
Lockheed Morton? Is that not
Lock-
like a missile company?
Lockheed Martin. No, I'm talking about Lachlan Morton. No,
That man's a missile.
Lachlan.
Lucky Morton? You're right.
Yeah, I got his name
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, he won like a professional race. He won Tour of
Yeah,
Utah stage.
I know.
Okay, we're deep in the weeds. I like the Giro. I'm giving it 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. So I'm
I'll
liking
give it
it.
a 7
Depends on the riders, of
and
course.
7.3.
Just missing one mythical climb. We'll see who turns up. Who do you want to turn up? And we'll be back. We're recording weekly tomorrow. That'll drop later in the week. And yeah, until then, ciao, ciao, ciao.